and welcome to We Live for Saturday, your favorite college football podcast. I'm your co-host, Mike. With me, as always, is your other co-host, John. John, how are you doing on this day when it was 80 yesterday, but now it's a nice cool day again today?
It is, but it's going to get hotter, man. And
I know.
I'm not a fan.
We had the fake fall. We had the false fall.
We
thought it was fall. It got nice
glorious.
and cool for like a week or two,
Yeah.
week and a half too. And now the heat is coming back it's September. We're not done yet trip, which I'm not down with.
Well, thankfully, there's no, we're not going to have to sweat it out at the football stadium here in Minneapolis. I know some people are going to be going out to Cal. I hope the weather out there for all of you is much better.
Bay Area, it's usually pretty mild.
Yeah. So I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, not a fan of it. Really just want fall weather here permanently, and a long fall. That would be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, other than that, a good, fun college football weekend, I think, for
really fun
for most teams. Not all, definitely not all, but really fun, stress-free, which is always nice to at least have one of those.
For most teams.
For most teams, yes.
Yeah.
But
no, it is nice. It was nice to go to the bank and the Gophers scored in 6 seconds.
Yep.
So, and from there, I just really enjoyed myself. Had a good time.
And honestly,
a lot of people left at half. I didn't.
I wouldn't. No. You get to, how many times do we get to watch something like that? So, yeah enjoy it.
You'd see all the young players play because PJ cleared the benches halfway through the second quarter. But we'll get to the Minnesota game.
Yeah. I just want to say one more thing about it, though, is I want to personally thank Iowa for John Nestor. Thank you. It's been a pleasure having him on our team and make himself home here in Minnesota. It's great. So
they might regret that, man. They might regret letting him go, man.
They might
regret that.
Yeah. True.
It's possible.
Cool.
Right on. What else is going on with you? Anything interesting before we get into talking football?
No, man. No, just same old, kind of getting ready to head out back on the road in about a month and a half. As per usual. So then I'll be all over the United States once again. But we'll be recording whenever we can. So yeah. Cool.
Yeah. And just so everyone knows, we got this review episode out pretty late this week and the preview pretty late last week. So we'll do better this week. We're going to do the preview tomorrow. So it'll be out on Wednesday. And then we'll do the review either on Sunday or Monday. We'll get it done before it won't be so late. So apologies for that. Life has kind of taken over a little bit. I've been super busy, so it's mostly my fault. But yeah, we will do better going forward.
Yep. Sounds
That's
good,
what we're about here. We live for Saturday, changing our best.
That's right. Neckton mentality, man. That's how it goes. Yeah. So
some of our audience is like, what is that even? That's some Minnesota stuff. Yep. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Well, as always, before we get into this, if you want to find We Live for Saturday, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Podcast Addict. You can find us on Twitter at We Live for B1GSat, and you can find Mike at Alibaba26. You can find me, John, at Norwegian Gopher, and you can email us, We Live for Saturday, B1G@gmail.com. Please follow, like, subscribe, tweet, retweet, all that good stuff. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, John, it's kind of let's say, first of all, jump into these games. The Northwestern Wildcats 42, the Western Illinois Leathernecks 7. So this was kind of a good news, bad news situation. The good news is Northwestern played really well.
Yeah.
Preston Stone played better. He, threw it for 245, 21 of 29, 8.4 yards per attempt and 3 TDs, 0 picks. Mm-hmm. So that's a pretty solid performance from him. Cam Porter got going. Griffin Wilde, man, we've been watching this, waiting for him to break out. He broke out.
He sure did.
Look good.
Yes, he did.
5 catches, 94 yards, nearly 20 yards or nearly 19 yards a catch with a long of 46. So he's an explosive player. It's exciting to see him make some big plays. And defensively they did well. Had a couple sacks, 3 tackles for loss. Nothing crazy. They didn't dominate, but they held them in check pretty much.
For sure.
So yeah, but Cam Porter's out for the year, man.
I know, man. Like I just feel so bad.
Northwestern's
for him.
best running back. I feel so bad for him because he got in. He was really good as a freshman.
Yep.
And then the next 2 years he wasn't as good because he's been injured or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he just, when he's played, he hasn't looked as explosive. And it looked like he had the juice back this year.
Yes, it did. Yes,
like
it did.
that speed and that explosion that we saw when he was a young player.
Yeah.
Looked like we saw that again, and now he's out for the year. And that really
Yeah, it really is. It's really too bad. You just feel bad for any player like that who continues to keep trying to come back and just, the injury bug. Some of these guys, it happens, and it's tough, especially on running backs. I mean, that's such a difficult position.
It's a brutal position.
It really is.
Take a lot of hits. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel really bad, but on the bright side, just for Northwestern in general, yeah, man. I mean, dude, Preston Stone looked like a different quarterback from last week.
Dude, totally different than last week.
Yeah, I mean, he was throwing on the run off his back foot and like perfectly placed balls. His pocket awareness was fantastic. He can also run well.
Yep.
It was in Wildy, like, that connection for sure is great, and some amazing possession catches from him. Yeah. So I'm really impressed with the step that they took from last week. I know the competition was
bad,
not that great, but
that's okay. They played well. That's what matters.
Exactly. So
it wasn't ugly. It looked like it should look.
Exactly. And so I think this is a massive win for Northwestern, to continue on through the season. Your offense looks like it's getting it together, and the defense, took care of business. So yeah, good work for Northwestern this week.
Yeah, good work for the Cats, and I hope they enjoyed it because they play Oregon this week.
Yeah,
it's on the lake though, which is interesting.
It is. I mean, at least they're going to get a nice view, so there's that.
Yeah, it'll be pretty. But we'll get to Oregon. They look, we'll say tough. They look tough.
They do. Yes,
they
do.
A team that you don't want to play currently.
No.
All right. Next up, we had the Maryland Terrapins 20, the Northern Illinois Huskies 9. So, this wasn't like an amazing performance from Maryland or anything. No. Malik Washington did some good things, completed 19 passes for 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks, but it was only 19 for 35.
Mm-hmm.
So he was spraying there were a lot of misses out there. Maryland didn't run the ball very well, only 86 yards as a team. Nolan Ray led the way with 50 yards, 4.5 yards a carry. I feel like maybe he could have gotten more carries.
Mm-hmm.
Like DeJuan Williams had 10 carries and only got 20 yards. Like, maybe just give Nolan Ray the carries.
Yep.
I don't know, kind of thing. He might just be better.
Yeah.
At this point. Dorian Fleming, 4 catches, 70 yards and a touchdown. Shalik Knotts had a nice touchdown catch too. Mm-hmm. That was a good looking play. But Northern Illinois was in this game, John.
Yeah, they were. Yes, they were. I mean, they were running the ball pretty well against this defensive line, this Maryland defensive line. It was definitely leaky. There was a 74-yard TD run where I believe it was Telly Johnson. That went for 74 yards and untouched. Like nobody touched him.
Right. Rushing.
Yes.
Let's see.
He had 86 yards.
10 for 86 yards, but yeah, he had 1 for 74.
Yeah.
Untouched, huh?
Yep. Nobody touched him. Just it was like just wide open gaping holes everywhere. Yeah.
That's rough.
Like he had options too to run through holes. Like he had like 3 different lanes.
Like he could have picked. It was like a choose your own adventure. Like you could have gone different directions and been fine. Sure.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I think there's definitely some problems here. Again, at the line of scrimmage with Maryland, I will say that Fleming, I mean, he's a beast, dude. He's hard to take down. I mean, he's a big receiver, so he's always going to be a problem. And yeah, I mean, Washington.
Mike Locksley always has receivers, man. Doesn't matter who leaves, doesn't matter who graduates. Mike Locksley always has receivers.
And Malik Washington will make plays, but
yes,
it's going to be. I'm afraid.
He's a true freshman.
Yeah, and I'm just afraid for when they reach conference play, as we kind of say here on repeat for as long as Locksley's been in at the helm. But so far, okay. This was a little bit of an ugly. I mean, I don't want to say it was a totally ugly win, but it definitely it didn't feel great.
It was
And
a lot
there was
uglier than the other wins this weekend.
And the Boo Birds were out in College Park. You could hear it a couple times. Even the announcers were talking about it. So I don't think Terps fans are
good, man.
super happy.
No, I think they're done with Loxley, dude.
Yeah.
I think they're over it. And I don't know if it's fair or unfair, but I just don't think just because he's been dealt such a bad hand with them not having NIL. I mean, the revenue sharing should help Maryland because they can actually pay their players now out of that, but they're still going to be way behind in NIL.
Yep.
So I think that makes it really hard. I think that's made it, and not having the revenue sharing the last few years, it has been really hard, I think, for Mike Loxley.
Yeah. Agreed.
So I don't know, man. It'll be interesting to see what happens. If Malik Washington improves enough as the year goes on, maybe that's enough to save Mike Loxley's job. They pull off an upset or two along the way.
Sure.
I don't know.
I mean, he's going to have to at least go bowling, man. He really is, in my opinion, to save his job. But
you think so, huh?
I do. I really do. At this point, with how long he's been there,
yeah, I guess
I feel like that's gotta happen.
Yeah. Well, and you go 3-0 out of conference. All you have to do is win 3 out of 9 Big Ten games, which is going to be hard for Maryland, but it's doable.
It is doable. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, Terps fans. I mean, as always, I think the basketball team will be stellar. So there's always that. But that said, we will ride with you. It's possible that Mike Loxley, he changed a lot of things in the program last year. Maybe the Terps actually get better as this year goes on. Historically, his teams get worse, but it's maybe they get better. We don't know.
Look, I don't want Mike Loxley to go anywhere. I love having him in the Big Ten.
I love Uncle Mike.
Yeah. So I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I hope. And they're not on the schedule this year, so we can root for him.
Exactly.
Good for you, Terps. You go for it. You go play well, you plucky turtles.
That's right.
All right. Should we move on?
Yep.
The Ohio State Buckeyes 70, Grambling 0.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Grambling's an HBCU. It's a really important school and it's awesome and whatever. They just are not. An FCS team is not going to match up with the number 1 team in the nation, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah.
Julian Sayin, 18 of 19, over 300 yards, 4 TDs, 1 pick. But then Lincoln Keenholz came off the chair and went 6 for 7, and threw a touchdown, which is also pretty good.
Yeah.
He actually had the higher QBR of the two, although QBR is a very flawed metric, as we know. It sometimes reflects what's there, and sometimes you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like this guy, both good and bad. Sometimes a guy played well and they have a bad score, and you're like, and sometimes the guy didn't play well and he has like a decent score, and you're like,
sometimes the backup comes in and throws 3 passes and completes each one. So, it's
Here's my question, John. I think the biggest question coming out of this game for me is Bo Jackson the best running back on the Buckeyes, and is he going to be the starter by the time they get to midseason? Because he looks like his namesake out there, man. He is a freak.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be exciting. And Bo knows.
And that's the big Bo knows, man. Bo knows. Remember that? Remember all those commercials?
I'm not sure. I wonder how many of our listeners actually know.
I don't know. That's a good question. I think the cutoff is probably, I think there's a decent amount who would recognize that, but also a decent amount who would have no idea what we're talking about. That's fair. Well, Bo Jackson was a superhuman, folks, back in the day, and now his kid, I believe, plays for Ohio State and is also named Bo Jackson. James Peoples and CJ Donaldson were the question marks on this team. Now, they look good in this game, but it's scrambling. But Bo Jackson looks great.
Yeah.
He broke off a 51-yard touchdown run. He's just dangerous, man. So I don't know. Freshman, that's a running back is a position where you can come in as a freshman and you can take over the job from older guys. That happens all the time in college football. It's an easier position to learn than a lot of other positions. And a lot of it's instinctual and comes down to that stuff, to the stuff that you can't really teach anyway. So yeah, other than that, man, Buckeyes look great. They look like the number 1 team in the country.
Yep.
There's no there was no hangover from Texas.
No.
You know, they didn't come out slow or anything. You know, they came out, they took care of business. Jeremiah Smith, it was nice to see him have a big game again. Sometimes in matchups, teams put 2 or 3 guys on him and make it hard for him to do stuff. So it's always fun to watch him when he gets to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know, man. The Buckeyes look like the best team in the country.
Yep.
There's
really nothing else to add. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. And you know who doesn't look like the best team in the country? Penn State 34, FIU 0. So in the first half, the Nittany Lions didn't make it on 4th down twice, punted once, and had a field goal blocked. I know it was a rainy day, John, but that is bad. And yeah, they turned it on in the second half. And yeah, they still won 34-0. But we're not judging Penn State like we're judging other teams.
No.
Like if this was a different team, we'd be like, oh, hey, 34-0. Looks good. Yeah, like, oh, the first half wasn't great, but you played well. Good job. Put it together. No. Penn State's trying to win a national title this year.
Yep.
Penn State's trying to win a Big Ten title this year. So what we saw on Saturday isn't good enough. It's not.
Nope.
They have to come out a lot faster out of the gate. They have Oregon in 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we'll get to Oregon the next game, but Oregon looks tough.
Yeah, they do.
And Penn State, man, Drew Aller's got to play a little better. Those running backs need to play a little better. And the offensive line, like the between, among them, it's just, I don't know, man. I need to see a sense of urgency from Penn State. You know what I mean? I need to see them like want it a little more.
I agree, and I feel like you saw that even last year. Like you see like one or two games where it's like they're taking the foot off the gas, and they just don't look the way that they should against certain teams. And honestly, surprisingly so. Like I know it affects the passing game, but like I notice it the most with the run game, especially with the 2 elite running backs they have in the backfield that should be able to just run at will and do whatever kind of damage they want to do. And when they don't against teams like this, it's a little, I'm confused. I don't know what's going on.
What's going on? Like, are you guys dogging it out there? Are you going through at 90% speed instead of 100?
Yeah.
I don't understand it either.
Yep.
And Drew Aller, man, 19 for 33, like 6.1 yards per attempt. That's not good enough.
Mm-mm.
That's not going to win a national title.
No.
And that's against FIU. So like, I don't know, man. I think the receivers are improved for Penn State. I do. I think they're good enough. I need to see that offensive line play a little better. I got to see Drew Aller play a little better.
Yep. Yeah. I'd be happy we won, but I would not be satisfied with the goals that you have in mind as a Penn State fan.
No, there's a reason. I think they slipped in the latest poll, didn't they?
I don't recall.
Yeah,
I try not to pay attention.
You try not to pay attention to the polls because they make you so mad.
Well, they make me mad, and like it just doesn't matter until October. So
No, I think they've got like 11 SEC teams ranked.
Yeah, of course they do. Yeah,
and like 6 Big Ten teams. And you riddle me that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the Big Ten doesn't have teams that are looking good that you could rank.
Nope.
Yeah. USC, Washington, Minnesota,
Illinois.
Illinois is already ranked.
Yeah, but
Illinois is ranked like 11th.
Did they? I thought it was. Yeah.
No, Illinois is getting their flowers right now.
Yeah,
and they should. We'll get to Illinois. They played really well on Saturday. Right on. Should we go on to Autzen?
Yeah, let's do it. There's lots to say about this, actually.
Oregon 69, Oklahoma State 3.
Mm-hmm.
So Mike Gundy made the mistake of poking the bear before the game. He talked about all the money Oregon had and said that it wasn't really fair that Oklahoma State had to play a team with that much money. And I'm just thinking, I know I mentioned it the other day, but I got to say again, you were that team with all the money when T. Boone Pickens was alive.
Yep.
I'm not saying you had Oregon level money, but you had a lot of money
and
you had that benefactor. And I think that it's hurting Mike Gundy that T. Boone Pickens didn't live long enough for NIL to be a thing. Because if T. Boone Pickens had lived long enough for NIL to be a thing, I believe he would have like bequeathed a ton of NIL money to Oklahoma State in his will.
Sure. Oh, I'm sure. But it also doesn't look good because it was like you were making an excuse of why you're going to get blown out before you even played the game of like, well,
Well,
you don't have the
yeah.
money. Yeah, come on, man.
And
Like,
also because they played UT Martin the week before. So
yeah, dude.
like who's closer, Oklahoma State and Oregon or Oklahoma State and UT Martin?
Mm-hmm.
Like UT Martin's pretty far apart there.
Yep. Yeah.
And yeah, Oregon does have more money than God right now. It's kind of ridiculous what they're doing, and I don't love it, but it's how the game is played, and they have Phil Knight and we don't, and that's just kind of how it goes right now.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, 69-3, man. When it reminds me of when they played Colorado, was that last year or 2 years ago?
Oh yeah.
And he said we play to win, not for clicks. When Dan Lanning gets his team pissed off, his teams play pissed off. And he got them. I don't know why Mike Gundy even gave him the ammunition.
It doesn't make any sense, and especially with the firepower that Oregon has. I mean, look, dude, they put over 600 yards on offense. Like
600 yards.
319 through the air and 312 on the ground. And listen, 10 players had positive yards on the ground.
Wow.
Like I know like Dante Moore, he went 16 out of 21 for 266 yards with a 12
which is impressive.
Yeah,
3
for
TDs.
12. Oh, it's great. Yeah, 3 TDs, 86 QBR, and he was great, but he didn't need to throw the ball.
Right.
They were running at will, and nobody broke 100 yards, but like they were able to just kind of go running back by committee and give everybody some experience because they could do whatever they wanted. And I think it was great. I thought it was really smart. I think Noah Whittington looked freaking-tastic.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, he like within the first drive, he had a 59-yard TD run, and then there was a TD pass on the next drive to the 5-star freshman Decorian Moore, and he was breaking tackles to get in there, which also is just really impressive for a freshman.
Yeah, Decorian Moore is a freak, dude.
Oh, he really is, dude. Yeah, he's fantastic.
He's not. If it wasn't for Jeremiah Smith last year, we'd be talking about Decorian Moore in hushed tones.
Yep, totally agree. Yeah, so the offensive line looked great. Defense, I mean, it was just all around fantastic performance. Doing I expected a little bit more fight from Oklahoma State, considering they're a Big 12 team. I understand they were without their starting quarterback, but still, like, to only score 3 points. I mean,
it's just so hard to lose your starting quarterback, though, in this day and age, John.
It is.
Like, it's really hard to make your offense still run. I mean, if we have to go a game with Max Shikanjansky, like, all peace and love to him, but like, I don't know how that goes.
I understand, but like they didn't even run the ball particularly well. And I expected them to at least score, more than a field goal. I mean, I don't know, maybe 9 points. Like give me a few field goals.
Oklahoma State's a dumpster fire. I mean, they're in trouble. Mike Gundy's the most successful coach they've ever had, and it looks like he's going to get fired.
Yep.
And that's just weird. If you had said 5 years ago, Mike Gundy's going to get fired at Oklahoma State, I would have laughed you out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Because he has had, I think he's had like 4 10-win seasons in the last several years.
Something like that.
Some really good years, but he went 3-9 last year, and he's here's the other problem with Gundy, other than money. It came out a few years ago what his political beliefs are. And if you want to recruit black athletes, you can't be wearing some of the apparel he was wearing.
Mm.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Chubba Purdy basically said it was unacceptable, and he thought about leaving the team.
Yeah.
When he was there, like, because of it. And I'm just like, dude, you can't get away with that anymore.
No,
you can't do that. Like, there's no, like, this is not a politics podcast. We're not going to get into it, but like, if you want to recruit, 55% or 55% of FBS level players are black.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to recruit those guys, you have to show them you're in their corner. And if you're wearing some of the stuff he was wearing, you're not in their corner.
Yeah.
And I think that's hurt him. I think that hurts him on the recruiting trail. I think people know. I think the main thing is the money, right? I think that the main problem Oklahoma State has they don't have the NIL that say Oklahoma does. but I also think Mike Gundy has kind of dug himself this hole. And then the comments about drunk driving being okay. And I don't know, man. He said a lot of not smart things in the last few years.
Yeah. I mean, it just as much as it is, to be able to call a good game and be an X's and O's guy, like you have to in these days have to be like a CEO, and you have to create a brand for yourself, and it has to appeal to as many people as possible.
Yes.
And involving politics and things like that into your way of thinking or in your vernacular, like I think you're hurting yourself in so many levels, and it makes you less likable, and it makes that I don't know, it creates a lot of adversity. And I think I agree. I think it was a mistake, and you're making people question wanting to go there, even if they want to go there, or when they're there being like, I don't know, how much of this can I handle? Can I handle this for 4 years?
He was openly wearing OAN shirts.
Yeah.
We're not even getting into it, but wow, dude.
Yeah.
Like, wow. I don't even know words. So Mike Gundy, man, the thing is, I always liked Mike Gundy. Yeah. I liked when he got up and said, I'm a man, I'm 40, and defended his players and was like, if you're going to attack somebody, you come at me.
Yeah.
Don't come at my players. And I was like, yeah. So and he's had a really good tenure and all that kind of stuff. It just doesn't seem like it's going well. It seems like this could be a not fun end to what was a really good, what's he been there, 20 plus years?
Yeah. Really good run.
Yeah.
Did very well.
Amazing run. Yeah. But I think it's coming to an end.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah. And Oregon, man, Oregon's the second best team in the Big Ten right now.
Oh, heck yeah.
And they might be the best.
Could be. That defense is insane too.
The defense is insane. And I just didn't think Dante Moore was going to be as ready as he is.
No.
He seems ready.
He sure is.
Yeah. Like it's not too big for him.
No.
He had 2 years to prepare for this moment.
He stepped up. He's there.
Yeah, dude. He looks legit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, should we move on?
Yep.
All right. Illinois 45, Duke 19. So this was a Brett Bielema special.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean about that is that Duke turned the ball over 5 times. And Illinois capitalized on those turnovers, which they will do. If you turn the ball over against the Illini, they will put the ball in the end zone. Neither team ran the ball very well, and Duke actually outgained Illinois in this game, yards wise.
Yeah.
So this was not quite as lopsided as it looked, I don't think, because the yards were pretty even, and the yards per play, both running and passing, were pretty similar. But man, you can't turn the ball over in football. No. And Illinois forced a bunch of turnovers. Like, that's good defense.
Yep.
Forced 5 turnovers, interception, and 4 fumbles. Some of that's on the Duke for not taking care of the ball, and some of that's Illinois just being aggressive, doing good stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, man, this could have been a close game, but it was not.
Nope. No, and like I said when we were previewing this game, I trust Bielema. I just do.
Yeah.
I expected it to end a little bit closer than it was, but like you said, with those turnovers, man, like Bielema will make you pay, and he did. And that's why they are where they are, and they deserve to be where they are in the rankings. And this is, to me, at least so far, I know it's really early in the season, this is a college football playoff bound team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I picked them to make the playoff. I picked them to go 10-2 and make the playoff. My only worry right now is the running game. Like, Luke Altmaier's great. He's great. 22-31, 296 yards, 9.5 yards per attempt, 3 TDs, 85.9 QBR. Like, that's all great.
Yeah.
Those are all great stats. But Illinois averaged under 3 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Caden Fagan and Aiden Laffery could not get it going. Khalil Valentine did okay, but he only had 6 carries.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think Duke's a good defense. Manny Diaz is a good defensive coordinator. If Illinois is going to make the playoff, though, they have to run the ball a little better than this, don't they?
Yeah. No, I think so.
Week basis.
I agree. Mm-hmm.
That said, give it up for the Illini, man. They're going to be in the top 10 real soon. Or actually, they might already be. I haven't even checked the AP poll.
I think
were
they might
11
be
last week.
I think they might be 9
now.
I think
should
so.
Probably look up the AP poll now that we've referenced it multiple times.
I know. We just always we talk about how much we don't care about it.
We get so angry,
game, but we need to.
We get so angry about it, you guys, that we don't want to look at it all the time. Okay, how is Oregon only number 4 after what they just did to Oklahoma State? I don't even know what to say about that. But yeah, Illinois 9. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So Big Ten has number 1 Ohio State. Penn State's still number 2 somehow because apparently people didn't watch the games. LSU 3, then Oregon 4. So 3 of the top 4 are Big Ten teams, and then you've also got Illinois in the top 10 for 4. But yet, the Big Ten can't get in the lower slots in the poll. Can't get a bunch of teams in.
Well, because the SEC is so deep, and they just beat each other up all season long, so we have to rank them higher.
Totally,
and also so their losses look better.
I want to know who still voted for it. Arizona State got 94 votes this week. They lost to Mississippi State. Mississippi State. Not Ole Miss. Not Ole Miss. They lost to Mississippi State.
But they've got the SEC patch right here, so that means they must be good somehow. That's why.
Yeah, dude. No, well, they're a Big 12 team, Arizona State.
No. But I'm talking. They lost to Mississippi State.
Oh, I get it. So it's a good loss.
It was a good loss
because Mississippi State. No, you're right.
Yes.
You're so right.
You're
so right.
Yeah, they got beat by an excellent SEC team because they're all fantastic.
Can I go on a side rant?
Yeah.
I am tired of teams with losses being ranked.
Yep.
This early. To me, I'm sorry. I don't even care if it's a tough game. Unless you look awesome doing it, if you lose in week 1 or 2, you shouldn't still be ranked because there are a bunch of other teams that won that are unranked.
Yep.
So, you tell me why Texas is number 7. What has Texas done to prove that they're what everybody thought they were in the preseason?
Nothing.
What have they done? Does Arch Manning look like? Yeah, I know they played a little better against San Jose State, but it still wasn't overwhelming.
Nope.
Not at all. So that's kind of ridiculous. You got Clemson at 12, 1-1. I don't really understand that either. You got Michigan at 23. I mean, we'll get to Michigan, but Bryce Underwood went 9 for 24.
Yeah.
That looks like a ranked team to you? I'm not saying that Michigan won't get there. They could.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that every ranking should be a snapshot of right now, not a projection of what you think is going to happen.
Or what you want it to be.
Yes.
Because that's the thing. I think they keep some of these rankings, so therefore they continue to keep more eyeballs on certain games because it looks more impressive, and that's what it is. It's all, for lack of a better term, bullshit.
Yeah, it's kabuki theater. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah. Frustrating.
Yep. That's why we don't look at the rankings, guys.
That's why we don't look at them that much. That's why we don't care. But now when we do, then I get mad.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of Michigan, we had Oklahoma 24, Michigan 13. Dude, this was Justice Haynes ran the ball pretty well. And had a good game that way. Bryce Underwood, man, he looked like a true freshman. 9 of 24, 142 yards, under 6 yards per attempt, 0 touchdowns. That's not great. And the other side, you had John Mateer looking like Johnny Football out there.
Seriously.
270 yards passing, 8 yards per attempt, and then he also had 74 yards rushing and 3 total TDs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, I thought Mateer last year, when Wazoo played better teams, Mateer didn't look good. He didn't play well. But, dude, he was ready for Michigan. He was ready for them. And I think Oklahoma's for real.
They sure look like it, man. I mean, and this is a pretty solid defense from Michigan.
It's a great defense for Michigan.
Yeah. So, dude, yeah, I mean, I think the SEC better watch out. This is for real. And I'm, good for them. I don't hate Oklahoma. I mean, I never really liked Texas, but I don't hate Oklahoma just because they're in the SEC right now. I think they're still.
No, I always cheered for Oklahoma against Texas.
Yeah, me too.
In that game, in the Red River rivalry.
So, you know, I
I
don't
mean, I
have as
cheer for
much hate.
Okie State and Bedlam. Like, don't get me wrong,
Same.
but yeah.
Yeah. But as far as them being officially an SEC team right now, I have a little less hate for them than some of the others. So
Yeah.
good.
You cut out for a second.
Oh,
You
am
said
I
you had
back?
a little. Yeah, you're back.
All right. I said good for you, Oklahoma. I mean,
Yeah.
you beat Michigan, which like I'm not always, that doesn't make me very sad as a Minnesota fan. So, there you go.
All right. Should we move on?
Yep.
We had Iowa State 16, Iowa 13. John, the combined yardage in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So Iowa had 214 yards of offense. Iowa State had 238 yards of offense. Together, they still didn't clear 450. Together, they didn't clear 450 yards of offense. So this was a defensive struggle.
Yeah.
Iowa, and you know what, man? Mark Gronowski probably lost them this game.
Yep.
Because he threw a pick in a really bad pick that was returned and then set up a touchdown for Iowa State.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Iowa did drive down, to their credit, scored a touchdown at the end of the first half. And then, they were down 13-10. They came back and tied at 13-13. But if you take away that interception, then Iowa's up by 7 points on that last possession for Iowa State, and they would have needed a touchdown to tie, not a field goal to win.
Yeah.
And dude, Gronowski, 13 for 24, 83 yards, 3.5 yards per attempt. Those are middle school numbers. 1 interception, 0 touchdowns, a QBR of 29.2.
Dude.
And on top of that, Iowa couldn't really run the ball either. Jazz Patterson had a little success, 11 carries for 60 yards, but as a team, they had 131 yards on 3.4 yards per attempt and just the 1 touchdown. And then, like we said in the passing game, 83 yards. So Jacob Gill had 5 catches for 52 yards and nobody else did anything.
Look, here's the thing. As we stated prior to the season when we were previewing all of these teams, let me just focus on the run game, at least right now. There's no more Caleb Johnson.
Nope.
And we said it, and this is evidence of that right now. Caleb Johnson was on that team. I think Iowa wins. I'm not saying it wouldn't still be close, but I think they could.
Oh, Iowa definitely wins if Caleb Johnson is playing.
But also, this confirms once again what you and I have been saying. There's no deep threat for Iowa. Not one.
No.
And I know Vander Zee is out, but I still don't think he would be a deep threat. At least not consistently. Gill is not the answer. It's just going to be a lot of dump off passes, and Gronowski just isn't it again, I think I just want to know, like, is it, I know I said the deep threat, but like, is it both? Is it both the receivers and Gronowski, or is it just one? Do we think Gronowski could be better if they had better receivers, or
I
is
think
it
it's
Gronowski?
both.
I
think it's a combination of the two. And because Gronowski, man, he lit it up at South Dakota State, but he's not processing quickly enough.
Yeah.
Like, he's sitting in the pocket too long. It's like, you got to be like, bam, bam, ball out.
Yeah.
Like, read, okay, go.
Yep.
And it's got to happen quick because the defensive lines at this level of football are just too athletic and they get to you too fast. And he's not processing well right now. Now, maybe he gets better as the year goes on, but like, it's looked bad, and it didn't look good against Albany either.
No, it didn't. No. The other question I have, man, is their defense. Those corners are getting beat a lot more than they should, and even the D line, it did okay, but I still saw them getting beat up front by Iowa State. It doesn't look like a Phil Parker defense to me. And I guess at the end of all of this, with the offense and the defense, you can start with one of these things first and then get to this last question I have for you. But like, what does this mean for Ferentz? This is what I'm saying about like this is
Yeah.
this is now a trend. This is a trend.
It's been 6 years.
And like
6
how
years
much
since Nate Stanley was slinging the rock all over the yard.
how long are they going to do this? I mean, the Iowa fans are already sick of it. Like what's going on behind the scenes? And that's what I'm saying.
Iowa fans are angrier than I thought they were.
Oh yeah.
They really are. And I think being a national punchline started to wear on them at a certain point.
Absolutely, as it would.
Yeah. And they kind of last year went better, and they had Tim Lester as the new OC, and things looked better with Caleb Johnson. But now they don't have Caleb Johnson. I thought, John, with that offensive line as good as it was, it wouldn't matter if Caleb Johnson was there because I figured the other running backs were good enough.
Yeah.
But the offensive line isn't playing great either. Not to expectations. I thought that Iowa was going to push Iowa State around.
Yeah.
A little bit. I thought that, they were going to get Jazz Patterson going. I thought that they were going to, get somebody else going. And, 11 carries for 60 yards. I mean, I'm sure he would have gotten more carries, but they didn't get enough first downs.
Yep.
And that's a problem, man. I mean, Iowa had 16 first downs for the game, which is, not great.
Mm-hmm.
It's not great. I can't believe they can't run the ball better. I can't believe it. Like, I'm shocked, John. I thought that with this offensive line, you or I could go out there and run the ball.
Yep.
But that's not the case.
No, it's scary times, man, in Iowa City. That's for sure.
Yeah, dude. It's getting late early for their season. They got UMass this week, and then they got to go to Piscataway and play a night game. And that's not a guarantee at all.
Not at all.
Not the way Rutgers is playing on offense.
Not their offense, at least. That offense can score. That's for sure.
And that's the thing. I don't think you're going to beat Rutgers with 17 points.
Nope.
I think you got to score like 28 or 30 points if you're going to beat Rutgers.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if Iowa can do that right now.
Well, and with the way, like I said, with the way Iowa's defense, especially their corners, man, are looking right now, I think Ethan could possibly pick them apart. I really do. I think
you really think the corners look that bad, huh?
I really do. I think they're getting beat when they shouldn't, and more often than they should. And I understand this was a close game, but like I'm not convinced. I'm once again, just like last year, I saw cracks in that secondary. And I feel like they're just getting bigger. I'm not saying that it's like a terrible, terrible secondary or a terrible defense. Not at all. It's still Iowa.
It's just not Phil Parker level.
Exactly. I think they can be beat. And I think they can be beat over the top more than they should.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. Should we move on?
Yep.
All right. We had the Indiana Hoosiers 56, the Kennesaw State, I want to say Owls 9. So Fernando Mendoza, man, he bounced back. He looked really good. 18 for 25, 245 yards, nearly 10 yards per attempt, 4 TDs, 0 picks. And his little brother got in too and went 3 for 3. So it was because his little brother is the back. I don't know if he's technically the backup or the third string, but yeah, he's on the team also. So it's a whole Mendoza fest in Bloomington. Lee Beebe had a really nice day catching running the ball. Omar Cooper broke off a 75-yard, gadget play touchdown, which is pretty impressive as a wide receiver. Roman Hemby went 9 for 64 yards, which is very respectable. Elijah Surratt, 9 catches, 97 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's what I expect out of Elijah Surratt.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's what I think that's what I expect him to do. And when he does that, Indiana's tough to beat, man.
Yep. Yeah.
And yeah, Kennesaw State's terrible. Yeah, that's true. But I think it's, Indiana looked good.
Yeah. They did. They did exactly what they should against an inferior opponent. Yeah. I'm with it. So.
And then they've got another inferior opponent this week in the Indiana State Sycamores.
Oh, yeah. They're going to roll.
Playing them on Friday night, which that seems kind of cruel to make the Sycamores do that in primetime.
Yeah.
Like, that's not an 11 a.m. Saturday game. Like, really?
Yeah.
You're doing that on Friday night? Just put in where everyone will just be watching it by accident? I mean, I'll watch. But
Yeah.
Yeah, rough. And then they get to host the Illini.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be the game, man. That's going to be the game that defines Indiana's season and Illinois season.
Yep. Agreed.
So that's going to be, we've been talking about that one since January. That's going to be a banger.
Yep.
For sure. Any other thoughts on the Hoosiers?
No, not much to say. They took care of business and moving on.
All right. We had the Minnesota Golden Gophers 66, the Northwestern State Demons 0. So this was a fun game. John Nestor had a pick 6 on the first play of the game, and he had 2 interceptions for the game. So he was actually, when they named at Gopher games, they named the heart of the game and player at the end of the, towards the end of the game, and he was the guy named for his, he got the Gophers off to a good start. Minnesota didn't look back. They scored 35 points in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Drake Lindsay looked great, 8 for 9. He only had 9 attempts because he got pulled with 8 minutes left in the second quarter. But he was 8 for 9 with a TD, 96 QBR, really, really solid. The backup, Max Chikajensky, looked pretty good, going 4 for 5 for 80 yards and a touchdown as well. And then it was a thing where, everybody who ran the ball got yards. And again, PJ was so reticent to get guys hurt and we ended up giving Grant Washington, who's a true freshman who's redshirting this year, had 20 carries for 126 yards because PJ didn't want to risk getting anyone else hurt, especially after Darius Taylor went down early in the game.
Yes.
Which is so frustrating.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And it's like, and people were like, oh, you shouldn't have been playing. And I was like, you can't do that. It was the first quarter.
Yeah.
It was like the first or second drive of the game. You're going to have your best players in. You can't just not play. You can't just be like, oh, well, we could beat this team with our backup, so all of our starters are going to sit.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how football works. Guys get rusty. You know what I mean? You need to play a little bit every week, every time there's a game. You can't just sit guys, before you have a giant lead. You get the giant lead, and then you sit guys. And PJ did that.
Yep.
But Darius Taylor, the good news is it doesn't look too bad as far as injuries go, but I don't think they're going to play him against Cal. Because you've got a bye after that. So I think you give him the whole 3 weeks, let him get better and come back full strength for Rutgers. Whereas if, instead of having him play against Cal and potentially tweak it.
Yeah. Well, the more important games are obviously conference games. So, it's, I agree. I mean, it's not ideal. But
not ideal.
To add to that, though, our backups looked very good. Honestly, Cam Davis was the one who stood out to me. Cam
Davis is good, man.
Yeah.
Yep. And Fame Ijaboy
is
good. And I even thought, as AJ Turner had, looked pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now, and he better, because it's going to be Cam Davis and AJ Turner and Fame who are getting the carries this week.
Yeah.
So those guys better be ready to go. And they look good. And they looked good last week.
Yeah. I think they're going to be pretty reliable. I'm not that worried about our run game, at least not yet. But I think we should be okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And, the ball was spread out a lot. Drake had a really nice long touchdown pass to Javon Tracy.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't quite hit him in stride. He had to wait just a second, like a split second for it, but it was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he'll learn to hit those guys in stride better as he goes.
I understand, this was not a good football team at all that Minnesota faced, but Drake really looks good. He looks real sharp, man. Yeah, like you just said. Yeah, I just feel really confident about our season and having him running our offense.
Funniest stat of this game: Minnesota had 25 first downs in this game. Northwestern State had 2. 2 first downs in the entire game. They had a total of 42 yards. So 484 yards to 42. So that's about, and the game got canceled 6 minutes early for lightning.
Yep.
So it could have been and should have been worse.
Yep.
But yeah, obviously Northwestern State, you don't want to play a team that bad. Minnesota actually had a MAC team pull out on them at the last minute.
Yeah.
and had to find a substitute, and that's how they ended up with an FCS team this year.
Yeah.
Because Minnesota normally doesn't play, FCS teams very rarely, if ever. I think we played 4 in the last 9 years.
Yep.
Which is a little different than the SEC, who I'll play one every year.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's very different.
Anyone who's critiquing Minnesota for this game, especially Minnesota fans,
I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear it.
It's one game a year. And you know what I always say about the non-conference? Play one bad team, check. One good group of 5 team, Buffalo, check. And one good team, one good power conference team, Cal.
Yep.
And now we're going to have the Cal game,
Yep.
And that's going to be really big for Minnesota. Minnesota, absolutely. I think that's a must win.
Oh, yeah.
I think if Minnesota's going to have the season they think they can have, which is a good one, they have to go out and find a way to beat Cal. And it's a 9:30 kick. So that's going to be challenging. But they got to find a way to do it. I don't think it has to be pretty. I don't think they have to win big, but I don't think they need a bunch of style points, but they need to find a way to go out there and win.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right. Should we move on?
Yep.
We had the Wisconsin Badgers 42, the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders 10. So this was kind of a tale of two halves. Wisconsin didn't play that well in the first half.
It seemed to take them until into the third for them to kind of get their stuff together.
Yeah, I mean it was 14-10 at half.
So
it was a very tight, close first half, and then in the third and fourth quarter, then Wisconsin flexed a little bit.
Yeah,
showed what they were and did a little better job, pulled away, and it ended up looking respectable. 456 yards to 241. So that was pretty good. And Danny O'Neal, man, 23 for 27, 283 yards, 10.5 yards per attempt, 3 TDs, 1 pick. That's really good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's really good. And it was on a day when Wisconsin ran the ball decently well, but not like amazingly well. So it was important that he played well. So I got to ask you, John, my question coming out of this game. And obviously the Wisconsin defense in the second half was especially good. Shout out to Christian Allegro at 2 tackles for loss and 7 total tackles. Do you think there's a quarterback controversy in Madison now?
I do, and personally, look, I both of us have seen a lot of Billy Edwards Jr., and I just think he's an average Big Ten quarterback. And we've got a small sample size for O'Neal. But what I saw yesterday, eventually, I know it took a little while to get there, but what I saw with him was I was more impressed with him as a quarterback than I have ever been with Billy Edwards Jr., in my opinion.
Yeah, 23 for 27.
Yeah. So
that's good
right now, and he's more mobile as well.
Yes.
So to me, I know it's only a 2-game sample size, but I would be riding him. I know Billy Edwards, it may still be another week or two for him to come out and play. I know they're not having him play against Alabama, but I feel like that might be the best situation for Wisconsin at this point.
Yeah.
You have to prepare for a lot more. Edwards is more of a statue. I'm not saying he can't move at all, but he definitely doesn't have the quickness or the wiggle that Danny O'Neal has. So
right.
I think that's who you go with. He seems to have created a chemistry with his receivers. I don't know. That's who I trust. So I think that's who I would continue to put out there until proven otherwise. So yeah, man.
It might be a thing where Luke Fickell got saved from himself.
Yeah.
By playing, he got caught playing the wrong quarterback, but it worked out because the right quarterback is the one who's staying healthy.
Yep.
So yeah, dude. I'm really fascinated to see what happens going forward. Obviously, it's going to be Danny O'Neal against Alabama. If Wisconsin beats Alabama, there's no way he loses the job. Now, the question is, if Wisconsin gets crushed, then is it Billy Edwards? You know what I mean? Then what do they decide to do? I'm with you. I think they should go with Danny O'Neal, but coaches are stubborn, and I don't know if Luke Fickell will or not. I could have a good feel for it.
I could see him putting Billy back in if he does get healthy here. But I don't think it's going to stay that way. If I had to pick right now, I think he would try it, and I don't think it would work out that well. And Danny would be the one who would take over eventually again. But you know, the main thing for me, what I got to see with this offense still, I know they eventually, you know, kind of got the run game going, but it took a while, and that's a little odd too. Again, with this offense that is supposed to go back to this Wisconsin power run game, you know,
Right.
I'm still not seeing it, and I
No.
got to see it against a team like Middle Tennessee State. It should have been dominant from the start, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you're going to go back to what you're talking about and what you're capable of doing with the stable of backs that you have, and that offensive line and whatnot. So, you know, there's still a lot to prove, in my opinion. What we're really going to see here is even if Wisconsin loses against Alabama, I got to see him put up a fight. I got to see
Yes.
what the potential is there for me to believe that this team could be dangerous throughout the rest of the season. I think they're going to be better than in some ways, better than what some people are expecting. But you know, how good, how much better are they really this time around? So just still a lot of questions for me, but I think Danny O'Neil is an upgrade as of so far.
Yeah, no, I do too, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it breaks down.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving along. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights 45, the Miami Ohio Redhawks 17. So this game was a blowout points wise. Yards wise, 421 to 368.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the first half was competitive. It was 20-10 at half, but it could have been a little closer than that potentially.
Yeah.
But then Rutgers really, you know, threw the hammer down in the second half. Still though, I mean, you know, Rutgers, they ran the ball a little better this week, which was good to see. It wasn't just all passing, you know.
Yeah.
Their run game still doesn't look amazing, but it looked competent at least. And yeah, dude, I think this was a good, you know, it was a good win for Rutgers. I'm still have no idea how good they are. I don't have any feel for it because like this passing game has been a revelation. I mean, Ethan Kaliakmanis threw 4 TD passes.
Yep.
But my question is, you know, is that going to be something that still is as effective in Big Ten play or not against better defenses? And I just don't have a good feel for it. I think it probably will be pretty effective. But I don't know what the run game is going to look like in Big Ten play. Yeah, I don't know. Rutgers is, I expected them to be a team that could run the ball and play defense.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like they can't do either of those things that well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But their passing game is exponentially better than I thought it was going to be.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I think their offense overall, I think, is really good. Yeah, they have to step it up in the run game, which I think is possible. But I mean, the major issue, once again, is this defense. Sure, Rutgers is going to score points, but can they stop the other team from scoring more points than them?
I know. And that's the thing, man. They gave up 370 yards to Miami, Ohio, which isn't like terrible, but you know, they only outgained them by 50 yards.
Yep.
So it wasn't even on the scoreboard, but kind of like Duke, Illinois. It's one of those where if you take out some of the turnovers, I just, it looks a little, yeah, or I guess there was just the one turnover, but it just, yeah, I don't know. It was a weird game.
Well, there was, I mean, DeQuan Finn was getting, and DeQuan Finn is not like some prolific passer, but he got it to Keith Reynolds for a long 69-yard pass, and then to Cam Perry for 62 yards. And Reynolds had 120 yards, and Perry had 108. And against that defense, against that secondary, like to me, that shouldn't be happening against a team like Miami of Ohio. They shouldn't be beating you deep like that.
No.
And they are in a big way.
Consistently getting open.
Yeah. So again, man, Rob Smith. Rob Smith is all I got to say to you, Rutgers fans, and I am so sorry.
I'm not. The good news is, man, I don't think he's going to get demoted. It doesn't seem like it. Like it's been bad, but not like bad. It's not like been terrible.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like when he was our defensive coordinator, he gave up 40 to 50 points 4 weeks in a row against teams that weren't very good. And it was just very clear that he was not up to the job. But like, it's not that clear yet with Rutgers. And I don't know when it's gonna be clear because they've got Norfolk, Norfolk State, is it? Yeah, Norfolk State. Yep. So that's not really a game. And then they have Iowa, who has a terrible offense. we might not like. Then they get Minnesota and Washington and Oregon in 3 straight weeks.
Yeah.
So like that's when we're gonna, or I guess in 3 straight games, not 3 straight weeks, but 3 straight games. I think that's when we're gonna find out where this defense is at, and I think that they're gonna be exposed.
Yep.
I think that once they get into Big Ten play against competent Big Ten offenses, I think it's gonna be really hard.
Yeah. Agreed.
And the question is, can Rutgers win shootouts? Is Greg Schiano like? It'll be interesting, man. I think they're gonna be in some.
Well, I think, and they will win some games that way, but they're also going to lose some games because of, the lack of quality defensive play. Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, that's, I think it's for sure going to come back and hurt them at some point.
Yeah.
No question about it. All right. Moving right along, we had the Nebraska Cornhuskers 68, the Akron Zips 0. So Akron's a bad team, but Nebraska made this look good. They put up over 700 yards of offense to just 175 for the Zips. 494 yards passing, 234 yards rushing. I mean, this wasn't a game. This was a beating.
Yeah.
It's a public beating. Dylan Raiola continues to look good. 24 for 31, 364 yards, 4 TDs, 0 picks. Their backup, TJ Lateef, also looked pretty good. So good for him. And then Emmett Johnson, man, 14 carries, 140 yards, 10 yards a carry. So that's what you want to see. The Zips are bad, but like Nebraska did what you want to see Nebraska do to a team like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't know. It kind of is what it is. And we're going to find out a lot more about Nebraska in 2 weeks when they play Michigan.
Yep.
And that's going to be a fascinating game.
I'm very interested in that now. I mean,
Nebraska thinks they're going to win. Nebraska very much thinks they're going to win that game, and I see why, because the Michigan offense is kind of a mess.
Yeah.
The question is, can Bryce Underwood show some improvement between now and then? Because if he goes 9 for 24 last week, that's not going to get it done in the Big Ten. It just is not.
No, it's not. I still think Bryce Underwood is a freak, and he could rise to the occasion, but he's just got to be consistent, But I also think, Nebraska definitely, I can absolutely see Nebraska winning that game as well. But it's going to be good. It's definitely more interesting than what I initially thought it was going to be.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Michigan looks vulnerable. I'm so upset we don't play them this year.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like really pissed about it.
Me too.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We had the USC Trojans 59. The Georgia Southern, I want to say Eagles 20. Yep. Eagles. So John, I feel like this was a good news, mostly good news, but bad news game also. Good news, bad news situation. The good news is USC put up 750 plus yards of offense. They went absolutely ballistic. Jaden Maiava threw for over 400 yards. Wayman Jordan had 167 yards rushing. I mean, they went. Makai Lemon had 158 yards on 4 catches and 2 TDs. I mean, that's just being unguardable. Yeah. Unguardable. That was amazing. So, like, Jacoby Lane had a few grabs too and did that were, big. And yeah, man. But here's my thing. USC gave up almost 377 yards to Georgia Southern. They gave up almost 400 yards in this game. And it was, I'd say that the defense for USC was good for the most part, but there were some cracks.
Yep. Yeah.
Which can happen when you get way ahead, right?
Yeah.
You can take your eye off the ball, whatever. So I'm not saying that means USC doesn't have a good defense, but I think it's something to watch against better opponents to see how the defense does.
Well, and I'm sure there were some backups in that game as well, getting them some experience. But yeah, I'm with you. Something just to kind of keep your eye on. But as of right now, I feel like USC is pretty much rolling and they look good. They look good right now.
Yeah, they should probably be ranked, honestly, based on the SEC scale of how we get ranked.
Exactly, yeah.
I think USC should be ranked. I think Washington should be ranked. I think Minnesota should probably be ranked. I think there are a lot of Big Ten teams.
Yeah. I'd throw Nebraska in there.
Nebraska should be ranked. Yeah, absolutely. I think they have every bit as much right to be ranked as those SEC teams and those one-loss teams that are still in there.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah. All right. The next one, John, was kind of I guess sort of the game of the week in how it turned out. It wasn't supposed to be. But Michigan State 42, Boston College 40 in 2 overtimes. This was a thing where Boston College, I can't remember if it was at the end of regulation or the first overtime, but they tied it up and they had a chance to go for 2 to win, and they decided to kick the extra point. And I just think, man, when you have a chance to win the game, go win the game. Like, I know people don't like that. They're like, well, if the game goes longer. I was like, yeah, but if the game goes longer, anything can happen.
Yeah.
You have to have at least 1 2-point conversion play you feel really good about.
Yeah. So
use it and go win the game. So I think Boston College made a mistake there. But it was, I mean, Boston College outgained Michigan State, not by like a lot, but by like 80 yards.
Yeah.
Which is not, so that's still, it's not like they did a lot better than they did or anything.
No, but Dylan Lonergan looks good, man. He really does.
Yeah, he threw for 390 yards.
Yep. 4 TDs. Yeah.
4 TDs, 8.7 yards per attempt, QBR of nearly 89. I love that they have a running back named Turbo. Turbo Richard went for 55 yards and 4.2 yards per carry and 1 touchdown. So Boston College only had 67 yards rushing. They couldn't really run the ball. It was all, it was all kind of about the passing game. But Michigan State was not stopping the passing game.
No.
And this Joe Rossi defense was not, they weren't really getting pressure either. They didn't have any sacks again. And remember, at one point last year, Sparty went 6 games consecutive without recording a sack defensively. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Michigan State, I think they're better on offense. Aiden Childs looks really good. I think, obviously Nick Marsh is a freak, and some of the other receivers look okay. Mekhi Frazier looks good at running back. I don't know about this defense. And I did not think that would be the question mark about Michigan State this year.
No, and not at this point after Rossi being there for a couple of years now. It still looks like it's a little leaky. It sounds like it looks like they're a little bit out of position, and I don't know, man, they're not flying around the field either. Like it's kind of seems like they're all moving in slow motion, and it doesn't look good. What I will say is what I do think really helped Michigan State in this game was their returner, Alante Brown. He looked really good. I mean, when he was returning kicks, I mean, he tons of broken tackles. He's fast. He's shifty. He's got incredible vision. So I think that definitely helps in the special teams unit there to help get that offense into a better position to score.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, close game. But yeah, the major issue here, the offense gets better, but that defense is not impressing as of yet.
The defense isn't impressing.
Nope.
And that's, until it is a little better there, and I also, the running game was fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. I think Sparty needs to run the ball a little better if they're going to, have the year. Remember, Jonathan Smith made it sound like it's not going to be long and they're going to be in the college football playoff. Okay. Well, you got some things to figure out before you get there.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Purdue 34, Southern Illinois. The Purdue Boilermakers 34. The Southern Illinois, I believe it's the Salukis. 17. Which a Saluki is a dog.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And I think that's fun.
I love random little mascots like that for little out there.
So this game was close for a quarter. The first quarter was 14-14. You were like, oh boy, is Purdue about to get into a shootout with Southern Illinois? But then they outscored Southern Illinois 10-0 in the second quarter, 3-0 in the third quarter, and 7-3 in the fourth quarter. So Purdue did what they needed to do. They took care of business. I thought that Ryan Brown didn't play that well, but they ran the ball well with Devin Mockabee. and Ryan Brown.
Mm-hmm.
So Brown, 14 for 23, 170 yards, 7.4 yards per attempt, 2 TDs, 1 pick. It's okay-ish. It's okay-ish. He needs to do a little better than that against a team that's below them a little bit. You'd like to see, a higher completion percentage and some more yards.
Yeah, he seemed a little inaccurate. Like his head just wasn't in the game. It was a little odd because he looked so much better last week. So yeah.
Right. But this is, it's a good win for Purdue. They're 2-0, which they weren't able to say last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope they feel really good about it because their next 4 games are USC, at Notre Dame, Illinois, at Minnesota.
Yep.
So I hope Purdue feels good.
Yeah.
I hope they feel good about themselves right now in this moment, because it might not be until Northwestern when they have another real shot at winning a game.
Mm-hmm.
But that said, I think they're going to continue to improve.
Yeah.
I think they're going to continue to be more competitive. Barry Odom is showing that he knows what he's doing. I think.
Yeah, they don't look like the worst team in the Big Ten right now.
They're not.
Nope.
They're not. They're definitely not. That's a segue, John.
Yep.
UNLV running Rebels 30. The UCLA Bruins 23. UCLA drops with the loss to 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
UCLA outgained UNLV a decent amount, but Nico threw a pick and they lost a fumble. And I think that was kind of the difference in the game.
Mm-hmm.
In what was a close game. Nico, man, he was okay. 29 for 41, 255 yards, only 6.2 yards per attempt, 1 TD, 1 pick. So he wasn't great. He wasn't amazing. He was, whatever. He was also their leading rusher, which is not great.
Yeah.
As no one else. I mean, they didn't even really try to run the ball that hard, which is kind of weird. I don't know why they didn't run the ball more.
It was just him scrambling. That's how he got all those yardage.
No, I know, but like from the running back position, they only had 19 called runs.
Yeah.
So you throw 41 passes to that's 2/3 passing against UNLV, a team that you should be bigger and stronger than. I don't know why you wouldn't run the ball more.
Yeah.
And when they did run the ball, they ran it pretty well. For UNLV, Anthony Calandria, 15 of 21, over 200 yards, nearly 10 yards an attempt, 3 TDs, no picks. So that was really solid of him. UNLV didn't run the ball great. They ran it sort of okay, kind of, but they at least attempted to run the ball a little more. They had a little more balance in their offense than UCLA, which was just all Nico, and that was it. And they sacked Nico a couple times, 5 tackles for loss. It's UCLA is the worst team in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's close.
No,
I think they're significantly worse than Northwestern.
Mm-hmm.
And Northwestern, to this point, looks like the second worst team in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I agree. I think, UCLA is a total mess right now. I think, Nico is their offense, and it made me think at times, especially in that first half, that his O-line hates him because they were just letting those defenders, get right on him immediately. There was no protection.
And remember the Titans when the racist white lineman won't block for the black quarterback?
Yes.
And they kick him off the team, like that kind of thing.
That's how it felt sometimes. Yeah. And look, they finally got it going in the second half, but it was bad in that whole first half. And another very interesting thing that I thought is with UCLA's defense is that they didn't force a punt until late in the third quarter, against UNLV, man. I mean,
they didn't force a punt until late third quarter.
Yep.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was bad.
That's brutal, dude.
Yeah. And their first TD didn't even come until late in the third after UNLV scored 23 points on them. So it's rough stuff.
It's really rough, dude.
Really rough.
I don't know how many wins are on that schedule.
No. It's going to be a bad.
I mean, they're 0-2. I mean, this could be like a 1-11 kind of year.
Could be. Yep.
2-10, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which, again, I just think you would have been better off with Joey Aguilar.
Yep. 100%.
Who's doing great at Tennessee.
Yep.
Doing awesome.
Mm-hmm. Loving his life.
Yeah. I'm sure he is. So there's that. All right, last game. The Washington Huskies 70. The UC Davis. I don't actually know what their mascot is.
The Aggies.
The Aggies. Thank you. 10. So Washington outgained UC Davis 628 to 218. Had a really good balance. Had 304 yards passing, 324 yards rushing. Everything worked. Everybody played great. Jonah Coleman is amazing. Damon Williams, he didn't complete as high a percentage of passes as you wanted, but on the completions, you got your bang for your buck.
Yes,
over 10 yards per attempt, 254 yards total, 1 TD. So just 16 for 25, which isn't bad, but it's not like amazing either. Yeah. But he didn't need to because he was so explosive in the completions that he had. Yeah, man. Washington looks legit. I think they should be ranked.
No, I agree, man. I think they look fantastic. Damon Williams is so dynamic, man.
He's such a freak.
It's so scary. Like his ability to just be so creative in the backfield and make plays out of nothing. Washington is really dangerous this year. So
they truly are.
Yeah, be on the lookout.
They got Wazoo next week, and then they host the Buckeyes. That could be a fun game. That could be a really interesting game. Because Ohio State, how good is that Matt Patricia defense? They looked really good. They look like world beaters against Texas.
Yeah.
What will they look like, against everybody else in the Big Ten? It'll be interesting to see.
I mean, right now, I got to say, I think Washington's offense is far better than Texas.
Yes.
It just is. So I think it's going to be a far better test for Ohio State than Texas was.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. All right, John, we got through all the games.
Yeah, cool.
And for all of you, we will be putting out, if you're listening to this on Tuesday, we'll be putting out the preview on Wednesday. So we got this out late for the review, but we'll have the preview out in plenty of time for this weekend. John, any other thoughts before we get out of here?
No, just, one step closer to conference play. Looking forward to it. It'll be good. And as always, if you want to find We Live for Saturday, find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Podcast Addict. You can find us on Twitter at We Live for B1GSat. And you can find Mike at Alibaba26 and me, John, at Norwegian Gopher. And you can email us, We Live for Saturday, B1G@gmail.com.
Awesome. All right. Well, John, this was a fun episode, and I'm really excited to preview all the games for the week 3. So we'll have that out tomorrow. And for all of you out there, have a great Tuesday or Wednesday when you're listening to this. And then if it's Wednesday, you can jump right into our preview after this. So you can just make it a whole We Live for Saturday experience, whatever you're doing, mowing your lawn, commuting, whatever, childcare, whatever it is you're doing, working,
Yep.
All right. Cool. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.